If anyone finds this, please don't come looking for me. I'm not lost. I'm still here. I just don't think I'm alone anymore. We weren't supposed to stay after dark. The coast looked harmless in the late afternoon, gray sky, calm sea, the kind of place that feels forgotten but peaceful. But when the sun dipped behind the cliffs, everything changed shape. Shadows grew longer than they should have. Sound stopped carrying properly. The lighthouse waited at the edge of the drop, its stone walls darkened by moisture and age. It didn't look abandoned. It looked aware. There were 6 of us. We joked to keep warm. Laughed too loudly. That's what people do when something feels wrong and no one wants to say it first. The caretaker met us at the gate. I don't remember him walking toward us. I remember noticing him already standing there. He told us not to touch the walls. He said the stone was soft. He said names had been pressed into it once, by hands that didn't want to be forgotten. Inside, the air felt thick, like breathing through fabric. Our footsteps echoed too much, then not at all. The lighthouse swallowed sound when it felt like it. Carvings covered the interior walls. Old. Faded. Love letters scratched in desperation, not art. Dates. Promises. Repeated meetings. I touched one without thinking. It was warm. Not from the sun. Warm like skin. That's when we heard the footsteps. Above us. Slow. Careful. Uneven. Someone whispered, "Is someone up there?" The caretaker didn't answer. He just stared at the ceiling. He told us the story in pieces. He didn't like saying the names. Said the young woman met her lover there in secret. Said a man with power wanted her for himself. Said jealousy has always been louder near the sea. When the soldiers came, the lover was killed outside. Shot and left near the cliff. The woman ran upward, barefoot, bleeding, screaming. The caretaker stopped talking. Because we could hear it. A woman crying. Not loudly. Not clearly. Like it was happening underwater. The sound moved. Downward. One of the photographers said something brushed past him. I volunteered to use the restroom just to get away. The small room smelled like rust and salt. The mirror was cracked, fogged with age. When I locked the door, the temperature dropped so fast my teeth clicked together. My breath appeared on the glass. Then kept spreading. Even when I stopped breathing. Water formed words on the mirror. Slowly. Patiently. Like it had all the time in the world. I felt someone behind me. Not touching. Waiting. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. The reflection did it for me. She stood behind me in the mirror, neck broken, eyes open, soaked in darkness. Her mouth moved. No sound. But the mirror answered. I do not love you. The light died. I screamed. They say I stood there for almost a full minute after they broke the door down. Not moving. Not blinking. Repeating the same sentence. Over and over. I don't remember leaving the lighthouse. I remember the sea sounding louder than it should. I remember looking back and seeing the lighthouse lit from the inside, every window glowing, filled with shifting shadows pressed against the glass. Like people trying to get out. The caretaker was gone. No one mentioned it. No one wanted to. We didn't file the story. We never spoke about it again. But the lighthouse didn't stay there. It came with me. Weeks later, my mirrors started fogging at night. Not completely. Just enough to leave streaks. Sometimes I hear footsteps above my ceiling, even though I live alone. Sometimes I wake up with limestone dust on my hands. Warm. Like I've been touching something that remembers me. I stopped driving near the coast. Stopped sleeping with the lights off. Stopped recording after midnight. Until now. Because last night, I heard breathing behind me while I was standing in front of the mirror. Slow. Patient. Waiting for me to turn around. I don't think she followed me. I think she was always here. Some places don't haunt you because you were there. They haunt you because you listened. And once you do, they never stop whispering. If you're hearing this, please, don't go looking for her. She already knows where you are. I didn't plan to record again. I promised myself I wouldn't. But tonight the mirror didn't wait for the steam. It was already fogged when I walked into the room. I hadn't showered. I hadn't run water. The air was dry. The words were there before I got close. Not written. Imprinted. Like they'd been pressed from the other side. I waited. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time after that. Didn't turn the lights on. Didn't turn them off either. The apartment felt smaller. The walls leaned inward, not visibly, just enough that my body noticed. The silence wasn't empty anymore. It had weight. I could hear the sea. I live nowhere near the coast. Footsteps started around midnight. Above me. Slow. Bare. Uneven. I counted them without meaning to. 1 step. Drag. Pause. 1 step. Drag. Pause. Always stopping right above where my bed is. I whispered out loud, please. The footsteps stopped. Something breathed in my ear. Cold. Deep. Relieved. I smelled salt. Wet stone. Old blood. The mattress dipped beside me. I didn't look. I won't pretend I was brave. I was frozen. Pinned by the certainty that if I moved, even a little, it would finish whatever it came here to do. Her voice didn't come from one place. It came from the room. From the walls. From inside my chest. You heard me. My throat burned. I nodded even though I don't think she needed to see it. You remembered me. The mirror across the room cracked, just one thin line, like a smile forming. She asked me why I ran. I didn't answer. She asked me why I let her die again every time I stayed silent. The air grew heavier with each word. My lungs worked harder. Every breath felt borrowed. I followed you, she said, gently now. Because you listened. The footsteps started again. Not above me. Around me. Circling. The room darkened in places where there shouldn't be shadows. The temperature dropped until my fingers ached. The mirror filled completely. She stood there, neck bent wrong, hair plastered to her face, eyes wide and shining like they'd never closed after the fall. She raised one hand. The same hand I'd touched on the lighthouse wall. Warm. I finally turned my head. She was sitting next to me. Closer than close. I could see the stone through her skin. I could see the cliff. The fall. Over and over. She leaned in until her forehead touched mine. I don't need love, she whispered. I need witnesses. The lights went out. Everything went quiet. No footsteps. No sea. No breath but mine. Then the mirror cleared. Perfectly. And behind my reflection, I saw the lighthouse. Lit. Waiting. If this recording cuts off, if you hear this and feel something watching, don't speak her name. Don't visit the coast. Don't listen too closely to places that remember pain. Because she doesn't follow everyone. Only the ones who listen. And I listened. She's standing now. Right behind me. The mirror just smiled.